Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple of days, I'm sure pretty much everyone has heard the announcement. But if you did happen to miss it, yes, you saw the thumbnail right. HB and 2K have indeed announced a new game, currently titled from the images and the teaser trailer that we've seen, just PGA Tour 2K21. Um, Now we obviously can assume that this is the golf club game, but the golf club itself is actually missing from the title. So not sure what way or what that kind of tells us at the moment as to what way the franchise is heading. I'm sure we will find out fairly soon on May 14th. So as I said, like a couple of days ago, the time of recording this anyway, it's currently now May 6th for me, so it's just a few hours ago that the announcement actually dropped, and it was a blindsider. It was quite a nice day out today, so actually I had the little fella out and I had to get a few bits in the shops, came back and said to myself, I've got about 20-30 minutes before I need to start getting the dinner on. I just sit down. He was playing away with his toys at his cartoons, and I said to myself, right, I'll have a quick look and see what's happening on the likes of Facebook and Twitter. I was not even 30 seconds on Facebook when I got in. I was scrolling away. I think I just did one, maybe two swipes to thumb up on the screen on my phone, looking at Facebook, and I just saw 2K21 in big red and white letters, numbers, whatever, scrolling past the screen. I said, oh, hold on a second, what was that? Scrolled it back down. The golf club game Facebook page has updated their cover photo. I was like, where's this come out? This is a bit out of the blue. Now, obviously, I'm sure there are obviously a number of people are in the loop, and have probably obviously as a alpha build and beta build testers, have seen, I will assume have seen some form of gameplay. Obviously have to be able to test it and give input and feedback and such. But for the rest of us, we were all just completely dumbfounded. We were like, where there has been no hint whatsoever that this was going to come out. Just before carrying on, actually, just gameplay in the background that you can see is from Cole Manor Golf Club. It's actually this week's True Sim Challenge video, but this is a post commentary video, so the gameplay is pre-recorded in the background. I recorded it just before starting to do this commentary. The course is designed by Smudge665, who is a subscriber to the channel, and he actually mentioned the course to me quite a while back, and I completely forgot about it. And just suggested he forgot about it himself and suggested it to me again in the comments of a recent video there about 2 weeks ago. So thanks for the suggestion. Very nice course. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I do suggest heading out and checking out the course. He has a few other courses, don't know the names of them, but definitely going to be checking those out myself. But back on to PGA Tour 2K20. Obviously it's just a small, at the moment anyway, it's just a small little teaser video. It's just hole 17 TPC Sawgrass, and advertises the Players Championship. So going by the title anyway, it does seem that 2K and HB have acquired full licensing now for PGA Tour, so it's no longer going to be a feature in PGA Tour title. As to what that means, are we going to be seeing like career mode, real PGA Tour players' names, golfers, whatever? Remains to be seen. I'm sure we will find out all of this now on May 14th. Everything that I cover here now in the video, I'm sure we will definitely find out about. But as soon as I saw that image, straight away when I saw the lack of the golf club being in the title, one of the images as well, it does show the usual sort of thing underneath the title, like what it's going to be available on. So I had PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So it's coming out. I originally I didn't really think we were going to be seeing another TGC game or PGA Tour game, whatever, on this current console generation. I thought it was going to be into the new year when the PS5 and Xbox Series X come out. So I got that one wrong anyway. To be perfectly honest, I'm actually kind of glad, because I'm not the kind of person anymore where I'll be jumping into the next console generation right on day one. I'd personally be maybe giving it a month or two a minimum, let the initial rollout of consoles get out of the way, because sometimes it's not always the case, but sometimes you can get a faulty one. So I kind of let like to let the first batch roll out and maybe pick one up on the second or third batch or something like that. But that's a different story altogether. So I am kind of happy with that in a way, that new game coming out. If it was to be coming out maybe just after the release, or in and around about the release of the PS5 and Xbox Series X, like I wouldn't be getting it straight away. So I am happy in that regard. But as I was saying anyway, just there about the way that it said on one of the images, I think it was at the end of one of the trailers, it was a screenshot and sent around, is that it said PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. As I mentioned a moment ago, I said that there was the lack of the golf club being in the title, and there was also, it was a couple of other people that brought it to my attention. I didn't cop it straight away, and then I looked and was like, yeah, you're right. The lack of it saying PC Steam. Now, obviously, it is confirmed. Obviously, it's going to come out on PC Steam. It's quite obvious. Be a very, very big mistake, and be very questionable as to why it wouldn't if it didn't. But straight away, one question then that came into my head was, with the lack of those things being in the picture or in the images. As I mentioned a minute ago, what direction is the franchise headed in now? Straight away I was thinking, ooh, is the course designer gone? If the course designer's gone, that's going to shut out quite a large percentage of the community across all platforms. I mean, you've got players like myself who I've dabbled in the designer numerous times through TGC 1, TGC 2 and a bit in TGC 2019 as well. But I prefer to just be a player. I just prefer to play the game, play the courses, see what all you designers can come up with. The crazy imagination, that's a cracking approach shot in there. The crazy imagination that you can come up with for your fantasy courses, whether they play like real courses or whether they're just completely wacky and out of this world. So and just plucking away as best at the imagination that you can. Like one that sticks out is a recent one, what's it called, Vader's helmet, the Star Wars theme though. I mean, getting like the likes of creating the Millennium Falcon and all that like, I mean, that's just, being able to create that in the game is just unbelievable. Or whether it's designers who do RCR courses, strictly RCR courses. As I said, I really thought that if the designer is gone, kiss goodbye to a good percentage of the community. But thankfully, it was confirmed not long after I started getting that question in my head that there is a course designer in the game. I have literally no idea whether or not it's going to be, or how in depth it's going to be. I'd hope that it's going to be the same as what TGC 2019 has, if not improved upon. One thing that definitely, from a designer's perspective, I hope will get improved upon is for in particular anyway that I know of. I don't know about Xbox, but PS4 players who design on there, is the designer was very laggy, and literally you'd be getting very regularly be getting those blue screen crashes. So hopefully that issue is resolved for designers on PS4. Well, yeah, PS4. I actually have a video coming out on Sunday. I have it ready now about a week, but actually that's why last week there wasn't any videos, as I wasn't well. But while I wasn't well and I was on the course of antibiotics and stuff, I was working away on this video, and I was actually talking about what I'd like to see in a future game. So it's a side-by-side comparison of TGC 2 and TGC 2019. But there was a couple of, I won't go into too much of the video, but basically I was going across different things about what I'd like to see anyway. One of the things that I actually forgot to mention, as you'll see in the background, normally I have the shot feedback off on the True Sim rounds, True Sim challenge videos. I actually still have it on here. I forgot to turn it off. But one thing that I never touched on was about the shot feedback. I actually hope now that is staying the same, pretty much, because like the information that it gives you, obviously the feedback as to how well you're swinging, what your tempo was like. For me personally, it's just spot on. It's perfect. It gives you everything. It's so informative as to how well you're playing. Which obviously when you see the video on Sunday with the side by side of TGC 2, you'll know what I mean. Like, I mean, those of you who's played TGC 1 and TGC 2 will remember the shot feedbacks there in those games. I'll say I won't delve too much into the likes of that. as I do talk about other bits, or I do talk about that and the other parts of it in the other video. As I say, I have that video done now about a week, but I haven't published it just because the way that I wasn't well. I have the new Hitman video and all that for tomorrow ready to go as well. But really excited for this now. I really hope that it's going to be really improved upon, that they've fixed all the little bugs. Like, I hope that it's optimized for all platforms. I mean, if I remember correct, at the start of TGC2 anyway, a lot of PS4 players were having trouble. Couldn't, like, in regards to the tour clubs on that game, could not swing for the life of them. I was the same myself briefly. And then I got a bit of a handle on it, but they did do a patch where, I think, because it wasn't fully optimized for the DualShock 4s, if I remember correct. But now with TGC 2019, there's an awful lot of Xbox players are finding similar issues. So I hope the HB and 2K now have properly optimized this game for all platforms. I hope they've maybe improved upon as well. Again, we hopefully should find all this out in the coming weeks. Within the next week anyway, we're going to be getting apparently most, if not full, details. Hopefully, definitely on when the release is going to be. But improved upon the likes of things like draw distances. Like, I mean, if I watch any PC footage, I don't notice the pop-ins. But if you're doing a flyover and like that PS4 and Xbox gameplay, you'll see the pop-ins of like the grasses and the little bush spots and all the little spots of bush and planting and all that sort of stuff, all sort of popping in, rendering as it's flying down. It doesn't really have the best of a draw distance, so I hope that's one thing that gets addressed. What else did I not actually touch on in the other video? Now I'm trying to think. Did I touch on the matchmaking? Trying to think if I touched on the online matchmaking, that needs to be expanded upon as well. Like, not have it where it's just the same few courses. I think I did actually touch on it where it's only like 6 or 7 courses, but definitely expand upon that, and make it where we can set up around on absolutely any course that's available. Because from what I'm aware, with the designer being back in the game to whatever degree it's going to be, and I will assume. We're all just assuming now at the moment till we get the full details. I will assume that any courses created in this current game, 2019, can hopefully be ported across. Like, I mean, at the moment it's well into the 6 figures with the library of courses that we have that are on the database that we have access to. So hopefully they can be ported across, that if designers do want to port them across and update them, that they can, and that we can use them courses. We're not just restricted to a small handful of courses with set conditions, that we can set up our own conditions as well. And I said I'm not going to touch on it, but back to the feedback. We want to see our opponents and Ghost Ball's feedback as well. That's really going to be it was a big mistake for 2K, or not for 2K, but for HB to remove that for 2019. It really did cause, what's the best way to put it, a shitstorm, basically, in terms of accusations and all that, because shooting the low, people being able to shoot the low scores on a regular basis, it was like, here, they're up to something. We can't see what they're swinging like. And one thing that I actually did not touch on as well is the swing. I say, if we can keep hopefully that the shot feedback remains the same, but the swing mechanic, a lot of people will tell you that the swing mechanic is broken, and the recent uproar as well about the push-pull swing, that hopefully will be addressed, that if you're outside the cone, or the swing plane, whatever you want to call it, that you're punished for your shot. Because I did mention in the video that will be out on Sunday as well, is that one thing that I'd like to see is now this is not to try and alienate players that will be of a lesser skill, but a spike in difficulty, bring it back, kind of get a blend between what we have now in 2019, but bring back in some of that difficulty from TGC 2, which I did cover in that video, or mention in that video, is that if you were outside the cone, or if you were just even still just slightly in the cone, just barely right on the edge of it, either left or right side for a push or a pull, you were punished. You were punished for that shot with tour clubs. I can't remember player or standard clubs what they were like, but pretty forgiving anyway. But whereas in TGC 2019 with master clubs, I said in probably Sunday's video, you get away with blue flipping murder with some of the shots and some of your swing lines. If you're outside the line, you're thinking to yourself, I'm in the thick shit here now, over in the rough. I'm screwed now for the approach, and then you're like, hold on a second, I'm still in the fairway. I got away with that. But whereas if it was TGC2, I said you're out in the thick shit. You're in the heavy rough or wherever. You could be slicing off into the water. You are properly punished. So like, I mean, one thing that I was thinking, which I did say about, was bring in an extra club set. Like if we're still going to have these 3 club sets that we've had now for the last 2 games, bring in another one that is like, fair enough. I did mention in the video, and this I got greedy there, tried to get it there at 2, ended up swimming. But yeah, what I did mention was in that video was, if the carry distances were for this extra club set, what I was saying, they could call them the elite clubs, if they were to remain similar to the master clubs but be a lot less forgiving, you'd be really punished for a bad shot. Fair enough. I wouldn't mind actually if they did carry a little bit further. So say 285 is the carry of a driver on master clubs in TGC 2019. If say they kept the 3 club sets and added in the extra one, the master club version would be still say 285. So still the same carry distance as what we have now, but with this quote unquote elite club set, is what I'll call it anyway, if there was to be one, that maybe then, fair enough, maybe add an extra, nothing too major, maybe at most another 10 yards carry, that if you do hit a good shot, you will be rewarded. But as I was saying, if you're even slightly off on your swing, you need to be precise. You really need to focus on your swing, that you're going to be punished for it. You're going to be off the side. A big risk reward, something to really challenge the top players, the elite players of the game. Because for myself, like, I mean, I don't class myself as an elite player, an above average player. I suppose at a push, some people would say, oh, well, you'd be kind of bordering towards a pro player, but I don't even see myself that way. I'm hit and miss now at the moment, the way that I play. Excuse me. But something to really test, really test the top players. Something to give a good proper challenge, because you can just get on the game and just be autopilot, swing, and you're shooting extremely low under par. So that's one thing that I would like to see changed. What else? What else can we talk about? Just apart from the fact that, just as I say, it just came out of nowhere. Going to be very interesting now to see what happens on May 14th in regards to exactly what's going on now at the moment. I really can't wait to see how in depth the likes of the career mode and all that is going to be. Exactly, like, I mean, because the fact as well that it is currently, as we know, called PGA Tour 2K21. How many courses are 2K and HB after getting licensing for? Because as we all know, not long ago there was all of a sudden all versions of Augusta and anything with Magnolia and all got censored just out of the blue. So I mean, going with the title, and by that happening a while back, are we going to have a more proper PGA Tour career with the likes of the Players, the Masters, all the different Opens and all this stuff? Are we going to have all them in the game? It would be great if we did have a proper calendar. And if we could, what was it? I was thinking about something. Actually, one thing that popped into my head as well that I hope can be done as well. This is actually going back to the designer again. I can't think of it. Went down my head there. I was thinking about for career mode, but back to the designer. One thing that I'd like to see specifically for designers and their creativity is when TGC 2019 came out. Obviously, we have the officially licensed HB versions of the TPC courses. So obviously, it would say TPC Sawgrass. When we saw that, and we saw how TPC Sawgrass looks, so in particular, if you take the likes of the retaining wall, around hole 17. The way that it slopes up and down, it follows around the level of the green. Whereas I straight away I thought, oh, designers are going to be able to do that now. They're going to be able to have flowing, gradual inclines and descents and stuff like that on the retaining walls. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And I was like, if it's in the official course, why isn't it in the designer? Like, yeah, you can do a step up, step down version and all that to create that illusion. But I hope they actually kind of do something like that. I don't know what way it'd work. Whether it just kind of, if you have varying heights of terrain around, that it'll snap on, but then just do a curve depending on where you snap on a point of your retaining wall, that it'll generate a curve or something like that. I don't know what way that would work. I'd like to see something like that. Like, I mean, really give designers some good tools now to really get the creative juices flowing. Excuse me. In regards to golfers and stuff, I'm happy enough. I'm hoping that they keep the same golfer editor, creator, whatever you want to call it, where you can put in your own golfer, or you can create this weird, wacky, alien-looking type of person and all. In terms of apparel, clothes, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, we did get a hint. I know somebody, don't know who it was, and fair play to them. They stopped it right at the perfect moment. You can see in the teaser trailer that obviously we're going to have Under Armour back anyway. You can see that logo on the shoe of the golfer in the little sneaky hint trailer. What are there going to be other franchise or sports brands in the game, or is it going to be just similar? Is that going to be expanded upon? If that's the case, that they're going to be expanded upon, is it going to be the same for clubs as well? Now, if it's going to be for clubs, this is one thing that I personally don't want to see. I don't want to see it taking a road down the likes of what EA was, where you're going to have, like, I mean, fair enough, yeah, have the different brands, brand names or whatever, as cosmetic skins for the clubs. Same for clothing as well, but not that they're going to give any what's the advantage from one side or the other. So, like, I mean, say you have an Under Armour top on, and that's going to give like what 70 out of 100 rating on performance or something like that for your golfer's skill level, performance boost or whatever. And then the person you're playing against has, I don't know, Nike or Adidas or something like that, and theirs is 85, 90 or whatever, and they've got a better performance. Please don't let that be in the game. Please don't have gone down that road. Just let them be cosmetic only. What a lot of people love about the game is the fact that it is basically a level playing field. Yes, we have got the 3 club sets for different skill levels of player. That's perfectly fine, but please don't have gone down the road of having these different advantages, power, spin, accuracy and all this sort of stuff. Just keep them the same. Just keep anything branded wise just cosmetic. That's one thing that I really hope to see, is that it's just cosmetic. And yeah, that's like at the moment that's pretty much all. And I'm still trying to think as I'm talking away. I'm still trying to think about what I covered in the other video, which I hope you do enjoy actually when it does publish on Sunday. It was quite a difficult video to do. I will apologise in advance for the commentary. I'm not very good at doing these post commentary videos. I prefer doing live commentary. But in that video, it was very, very difficult for me to see the actual gameplay, because right now when I'm looking at the screen, it's a picture in picture, so I've got the gameplay on the side, and I've got a big mic audio symbol for recording on the other side here now, so it's shrunk the gameplay down. So obviously I'd done the side by side picture in picture for the gameplay, and when I went to record the audio, obviously it done that again, so I could not see the fucking gameplay for the life of me. So a little bit crappy, I suppose you could say the commentary was, because I couldn't see the gameplay clearly. But what I was trying to comment and remark on about the differences between TGC 2 and TGC 2019, but hopefully you enjoyed anyway. I say it took me the guts of a week nearly to do while I was on the little road to recovery. But I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay in the background while I've been yapping on away as well. Hopefully we're going to see some great news now on May 14th as to the full reveal. But that's going to do it for this video. Anyway, as I say, I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, this has been Cole Manor Golf Club in the background by Smudge665. Great course. Highly recommend going out and playing it, as well as other courses. And if you if you did make it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching. I shall talk to you all tomorrow for the next Hitman 2 Master Assassin video. That will be at Marrakesh. Until then, take care, have yourselves a good one, and bye for now.